Stay tuned for this video's contents. This includes the Gila Monster that produces the most painful venom of any vertebrate, the 330-pound Komodo Dragon, and the Parenti that can run forever without gasping for air. The Tree Crocodile is one of the largest lizards on the planet, mainly on the length side, with some averaging a staggering 8 feet. For perspective, that's just 2 feet shorter than the popular Komodo Dragon, the largest lizard species. Endemic to New Guinea, the tree crocodile is a coastal dweller that spends most of its time high up in the trees. Its diet is made up of mostly birds and eggs, although it also goes after small mammals and won't hesitate to dig in on carrion. To increase the chances of successful hunts, the teeth of the tree crocodile are adapted to hooking into fast-moving prey like bats, rodents, and birds, which is quite different from other monitor lizards. Now, while they aren't venomous, these monitor lizards are aggressive and unpredictable, which can be a bit of a problem given their size. It's not so hard to pick up on the aggression, though. You see a tree crocodile with its tail rolled up behind it, then you better get out of there as soon as you can. The biggest issue with getting bitten by these giant lizards is the risk of infection, which might lead to death in the worst-case scenario. Thankfully, though, any tree crocodile will do its best to avoid human contact. Endemic to southeastern Guatemala, this lizard is one of the most endangered species, with some reports placing the number at just under 200. There are a few reasons for this, but of course, habitat destruction by people is by far the main cause, and the fact that the lizard's range is limited hasn't made the situation any better. Other possible causes for the Guatemalan bearded lizard's decline in population include hunting, the pet business, and climate change. Conservation efforts by the Guatemalan government are ongoing though, so it'll be interesting to see how the lizard's population fares in the near future. This beaded lizard is a notorious nest hunter, feeding mostly on eggs and younglings of other reptiles, mammals, and birds. But food isn't the only thing that it gets from other species. Burrowing mammals and the Guatemalan spiny-tailed iguanas provide underground shelters that are essential in shielding the Guatemalan beaded lizard from extreme heat. This is especially useful as it lives in some of the driest parts. The lizard itself is venomous, and its bite, although rare, can lead to vomiting, low blood pressure, excessive sweating, and dizziness. The Gila Monster is the largest lizard species native to the US, weighing slightly over 5 pounds and growing to lengths of up to 2 feet. Named after the Gila River Basin in Arizona, where they were first discovered, the lizard's natural range cuts across Chihuahua, Mojave, and Sonoran deserts, although the populations are on a steep decline due to human encroachment. Gilas are known for their showy skin that features a black background dotted with orange, pink, or yellow spots. Like the Guatemalan beaded lizards, they also love robbing nests for both eggs and newborn animals. Thankfully, though, they don't have to do this often, as they can go for months without a meal, utilizing the fat stored in their tails for survival. This serves the lizards pretty well, as they spend a majority of their time in burrows sleeping. When a Gila monster is out there hunting, it depends on its teeth and a mild neurotoxin. It does not bite, but instead chews on its victims to create an open wound that's immediately infected by the venom. In humans, this venom might lead to a rapid drop in blood pressure, swelling, excruciating pain, and general body weakness. These are generally non-threatening to us, but being drunk or failing to treat the bite properly could lead to a fatality. Bengal monitors are also on the lower side compared to the other lizards in this video, as there have been specimens as small as 2 feet long, but generally though a good deal of them just average below 6 feet, making this species one of the largest in the world. Unlike most of the monitor lizards, the Bengal Monitor will eat just about everything it can find, with the diet changing constantly depending on the season and locality. However, if food isn't so forthcoming, it has fat deposits just like the Gila Monster that can provide just enough energy to keep it going for some time. While they do have a formidable size, most of these monitors will avoid human contact as much as possible, and even when captured, they're less likely to bite. In the case of a bite, though, there is a chance of envenomation, but verifiable reports are extremely hard to come by. For instance, in 2013, a 55-year-old woman succumbed to what was deemed as a Bengal Monitor bite, but a few scientists were a bit skeptical of the reports. Apparently, the signs she exhibited matched those with a Russell Viper's bite. Also called the rice monitor, the Asian water monitor is one of the largest reptiles in the entire world, growing to lengths of up to 9 feet. That kinda gives it a certain edge when it comes to hunting in terms of prey choice and how it pursues this prey. The water monitor hunts small mammals, birds, other lizards, and fish where it actively chases down instead of, say, waiting to ambush. However, not all prey has to be alive. Asian water monitors are big fans of carrion, and they've also been known to actively seek out, excavate, and eat human corpses. Despite that though, they're still hunted in their natural range for food, their skin, and for use in alternative medicine. They may choose to defend themselves by biting, in which case the victims might be injected with venom. Luckily though, the venom is mild and much of its effects can easily be managed. As with most of the other lizards in this video though, there's always that risk of the wound getting infected, which means avoiding the bite should be a top priority if you're around these reptiles. Besides the teeth, Asian water monitors also use their sharp claws and whip-like tails to fend off opponents. As you can tell from the name, the Mexican beaded lizard is native to Mexico, with the natural range extending all the way to parts of southern Guatemala. It doesn't move around a lot, which means it also doesn't eat that often. To compensate for this, the lizard has a fat-laden tail that provides energy to power through winter when it's most immobile. This lizard is exactly like the Gila Monster, if you remember. Besides the lean feeding habits and using the tail for fat storage, Mexican beaded lizards also exhibit the same diet preferences and hunting method as their US counterparts. That is, feeding on eggs and younglings in nests and chewing on their victims to allow the venom to infect the resultant wound. While painful, the venom itself doesn't pose any serious risk to a healthy adult human as long as the wound is well tended to. However, make no mistake, the pain here can be a bit unbearable and may last well up to 24 hours after the bite. Other effects in humans include a fall in blood pressure, weakness, swelling, and excessive sweating. Native to Australia, the Parenti fares quite nicely among lizards in terms of size. With a length of just over 8 feet, it ranks among the top 4 biggest lizards behind the Komodo Dragon, the Asian water monitor, and the crocodile monitor. As a carnivorous animal, the Parenti has a lot of qualities, besides the sharp teeth of course, that make it a formidable opponent. For starters, it has a decent running pace that's just enough to catch other reptiles and small mammals that constitute their diet. On top of that, all Parentis can maintain a high enough pace without running out of breath thanks to strong neck muscles. Also, with those neck muscles, it also has a large breathing tube in its mouth. On top of all that, they can stand upright on their hind legs and tail in case they want to gain a better view of what's working around them. A Parenti will avoid conflict as much as possible, but when cornered it will defend itself. Tough claws, sharp teeth, a muscular tail, and an infectious spit give this reptile a very good fighting chance, even against humans. The Australian native has about the same venom content as other monitors, so getting bitten here means potentially an infected wound, severe bleeding, and, of course, experience excruciating pain. Generally though, attacks are rare, as the lace monitors would rather run off than fight. With lengths reaching up to 7 feet, these monitors are some of the largest lizards in the world, ranking second in Australia after the mighty Parenti. The large specimens are hard to come by though, so most of these lizards are slightly smaller than this. They spend some of their time high up in trees where they occasionally feed on birds, eggs, and younglings, especially in spring and early summer. For a larger part though, they are scavengers, feeding on anything they can find, including carrion and rubbish around human settlements and recreational areas. Despite these foraging habits though, most lace monitors are known to stay at a single place for years. Iguanas aren't exactly as dangerous as, say, the Komodo dragons, no. In fact, their venom glands have shriveled over the years, and as a result, their venom isn't remotely harmful to people. It's no surprise that iguanas are some of the most popular pets for reptile collectors, but that doesn't mean these lizards are docile and completely harmless given their size. Growing to lengths of over 6 feet and weighing in at 13 pounds, the green iguana is the largest in the iguana family. This means it's also the most dangerous to people given its rows of sharp teeth. The bites are usually very specific, targeting ankles, the face, wrists, and fingers. Bites here can very well mean serious injuries, even though, as mentioned, the venom wouldn't be much of a problem. That being said, iguana bites are quite rare, as the lizards would rather take off than attack. But in the case of a green iguana deciding to attack, there are a few signs it'll display, which you can take as a warning and back off. This includes lowering the skin flap under its chin and drawing in a deep breath to appear even larger. Now it's time for the day's best pick. At lengths reaching up to 10 feet, the Komodo Dragon is the biggest monitor lizard alive. The size also places these massive reptiles comfortably at the top of the food chain in their natural range. In fact, their natural range includes the Indonesian islands of Komodo, Flores, Gila Monster, and Rinca. While the size is enough to subdue any would-be prey, Komodo dragons have something else up in their jaws. Like most of the lizards here, biting prey is usually not the end of all their hunting escapades. The Komodo Dragon is equipped with specialized glands in its lower jaws whose secretions have been found to inhibit blood clotting. This encourages rapid blood loss in victims, consequently leading to shock. Aside from massive size, this is something you wouldn't want to deal with. They can also run fast enough despite the huge body, so it's not always possible to get away when one of them is mad at you. While it is rare, human attacks do occur, with injuries ranging from mild to severe and sometimes leading to death, though these are few and far between, thankfully. And that's our video for today, folks. I do hope you enjoyed it. Which of the lizards was your favorite, and do you think we missed any that wasn't the crocodile? Well, with all that said and done, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.